Cześć, cześć. Dziękuję za wszystkie komentarze, łapki, subskrypcje. Lecimy dalej z tematem i zadaniem.
That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
No właśnie. No tak. No spytamy się, czy można podrobić.
No. Each is a strip of several million random numbers generated on the fly based on biometric keys kept by each of the ambassadors on their person at all times. They're impossible to create without those keys, and those keys stay with the ambassadors, meaning we're accessing nothing if we can't get them on our side. It won't be.
Both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar? Or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun? Ah, the good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
If Sam is any example of how stubborn the Freestar people can be, then I can imagine how difficult it must be dealing with this ambassador.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Niekoniecznie.
Never underestimate the universe's ability to surprise. That's why we have Plan B. UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you.
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts.
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge.
When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here.
He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat. House Varun Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great serpent in the sky. But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Varun did take a real run at trying to normalize relations with the rest of the galaxy. It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, why they were included in the armistice negotiations. But then, without warning, they left, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador and his duty under the armistice.
Now hold on a moment. There's no reason to assume we're better than they are, despite their cultural beliefs.
They certainly come with a checkered past, but there's an additional wrinkle. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice. Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin, if we can ever find them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
The embassy is still legally House Varun's sovereign territory, so we're not technically permitted inside. We've snuck in the occasional spy, of course, but the ambassador has proven more evasive than you'd expect for a man of his age. But we're quite sure he hasn't left the city. The man stands out. The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set up in the embassy. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish, making it hard for us to verify what's flora and what's ambassador. It would at least be a speedier negotiation, but I, of course, hope the ambassador is alive and well.
Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Excuse me?
Faktycznie może być ciekawe.
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
Że to pamiętam, to ja już byłem, no ale...
What? Oh, sorry.
Ale przed wejściem tu i zrobienia czegoś głupiego, to sobie zapisz.
Hard to believe it's been 2 decades since we were at war with the Collective, when it seems like only yesterday.
You are a visitor? You'll find the ambassador in her office. Go on through.
Is that something you might be interested in?
Idziemy sobie porozmawiać pewnie. I przekonać.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or conference room.
I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy visiting anything related to the Freestar Collective. But you lead, and I'll follow.
No i tak powinno być. Gdzie ty jesteś? A.
Terrors. Is in more than one? All that security and they still can't
No dobrze, to tu zapis sobie zrobimy.
protect their own spaceport.
Przed rozmową.
Fails to disappoint.
Nie wiadomo, jaka ta rozmowa będzie. Wypijemy, czy... O tak, zjemy, czy wypijemy? Wypijemy. Tak,
Just wish I had
troszkę
received
to
news from
dziwne,
an
że
SSNN broadcast.
przed wejściem
We
trzeba
have
sobie
a
wypić.
strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
You're allowed 3 places. Conference room, lobby, or the
I'm
ambassador's
sorry.
office.
Do you have an appointment?
Anywhere else there's going to be
Pewnie, że
problems.
tak.
What are you? Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right.
Żeby błagać, proszę. No nie.
I was afraid of that. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours and go?
No niestety, nie pójdę sobie jeszcze.
You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One to convince me. Understood. I'm listening.
Muszę sprawdzić, jak działa ten automatyczny.
There's a lot of scared people out there right now, and I could do something about it. Londonian. They had to abandon the planet. But that couldn't happen again. Well, Captain, you make some good points. But if I'm really granting you access, I'm gonna need the following concessions. Your access will be limited. You can only take out the items related to stopping these terramorphs. The monitors will make sure of it. You go in once, you get everything you need on your trip, and never again. And all research done with the data will be monitored. If this data is being used to save the galaxy needs to be involved in the oversight. Freestar scientists will watch your people like hawks. So, do we have an agreement?
Pewnie, że tak.
Excellent. Follow me.
Ale co, już?
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here, I'll reach out to Deputy McIntyre. We'll coordinate. Code generators just this way.
Time to hit something. You've got something for me? Bye-bye.
Nie. Coś fajnego tu jest, no ale... Zostawimy. No i przypadkowo nam się udało. No to był czysty przypadek.
Even just the sound of his voice is...
interested in. This isn't what I expected at all. It appears the flora they were using as decor has overgrown the entire embassy. Running a bypass? Be careful.
Nie idzie zakościć? Szkoda.
I've never seen a tree like this before in my entire life. It'd actually be more fascinating if its branches weren't blocking my way.
Dlaczego? Nie atakują mnie. Żyjesz, nie?
Don't leave any of that behind.
Tak, wiem, potrzebuję pomocy. Ja nie powiedziałem, że nie pomogę. Tylko, że... Zabierzemy to, co potrzebne. Jak tu mamy przejść? Oh shit! Ładuj to.
If you're overloaded, we should stop and prioritize what we're carrying.
Ja jej dobrze nie widzę. Nie ma co.
Running away. Piss me off.
To będzie ciężkie. Tak, to odpada. Ten pasuje. Nie pasuje. W ten sposób. Tutaj te. Ten nie pasuje. A tak pasuje. I tutaj ten. Czyli zostaną dwa. No nie, odpada. O, tak. Czyli bym potrzebował na 3. Też nie pasuje. A to? Nie pasuje. Pasuje. Ten. Pasuje. Nie. A co potem jednym nie zostanie? Nie za dobrze. Tak, i na 3. O. Brak sygnału, okej. Idziemy dalej. Na górze. Przesuń. Musimy tam wejść. włamanie. Pasuje i na 2 też pasuje. Pasuje. Tam 3. Nie będzie pasował. Pasuje, tak? Są 3. 7. Nie pasuje. Ten też nie pasuje.
Find anything useful on there?
That junk you're hauling is seriously slowing you down.
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss.